Attention passionate Seattle Seahawks fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC West and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Seattle Seahawks' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Seattle Seahawks fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Seattle SEAHAWKS fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. I've got some intriguing and potentially game-changing news that's making waves across the NFL landscape, and it's especially exciting for all of us Seahawks fans. There are whispers, rumors, and some very credible sources hinting at a major move involving Jessie Bates, the star safety from the Atlanta Falcons and the Seahawks. And trust me when I say, if this deal goes down, it could be a pivotal moment for Seattle, setting us up for a deep playoff push and maybe even giving us an edge to finally take that next step towards Super Bowl glory once again. So let's break down what's swirling around this potential trade, what it means for Seattle, and how it might reshape our chances in this wild NFC West race. First, the context. The Falcons, sitting at 5-6, are in a bit of a rebuild mode. They're sitting on a cap space of around $12 million, and with some big contracts looming, think about Pitts and his upcoming deal, they're in a tricky spot financially. So they're looking to free up some cap and acquire picks to bolster their roster for the future. That's where the Seahawks come into play. Sources indicate that the Falcons are open to trading Jessie Bates, a player who's made a name for himself as one of the league's most instinctive safeties, someone who reads plays like a hawk and attacks the ball with relentless aggression. In this scenario, the Falcons are reportedly looking for a third-round pick in the 2026 draft from Seattle in exchange for Bates. Now, on the surface, some might wonder, why would Atlanta give up such a key player? Well, it's all about timing and strategy. They're prioritizing picks to find their quarterback of the future, and they're willing to part ways with Bates to accelerate their rebuild. For the Seahawks, this could be a major upgrade to our secondary, especially with the ongoing need for a ball-hawking safety who can make plays in the passing game and provide leadership in the backfield. Remember, Seattle's defense has been trending upward this season, especially since the addition of Diggs, who's been a force at safety. But bringing in Bates would elevate that unit even further, adding a player with a proven track record of making game-changing plays. Let's look at Bates' stats. Drafted in 2018, he's carved out a 7-year career that's been impressive, with around 400 solo tackles, nearly 200 assists, and over 20 interceptions. His PFF grade hovers around 88. 5 with coverage skills rated at 89.2, and his EPA per target at -0.14, which means he's excellent at limiting the damage in the passing game. He's also averaged about 15 tackles for loss per year, showing his ability to be disruptive both in run and pass defense. In 2025, despite some injuries, Bates played all 11 games, recording 38 solo tackles, 33 assists, 2 picks for 20 yards, and 1 forced fumble. His PFF grade for that season was 87. And he's still playing at a high level with an opposing QB rating of just 82. 5 when targeting him. Now, why would the Falcons be willing to let go of Bates? Well, aside from the cap considerations, they're also seeing an increase in big plays allowed, up 19% from previous seasons, indicating some instability in their secondary. Plus, losing Bates would be a blow to their leadership and playmaking ability. Think about it, how many times has Bates stepped up in critical moments, especially in clutch situations? His knack for hunting the ball and forcing turnovers is what sets him apart. And for teams like the Seahawks, that's exactly what we need, a safety who can be a difference maker. But let's not forget, this isn't just about acquiring a star safety. It's about how Bates fits into our defensive scheme and elevates everyone around him. With Diggs playing alongside him, the Seahawks could form a secondary that's not only stingy against the pass, but also aggressive in creating turnovers. If you look at the numbers, there's a clear projection that adding Bates could push our interception total from around 10 to potentially 22, a near doubling of our takeaways. That's huge, especially considering how turnovers can swing games and boost our chances in close contests. And speaking of the bigger picture, this move could significantly impact our chances of reaching Super Bowl LXI. The recent odds have shifted from +800 to +550, reflecting the increased confidence in our squad if we manage to add a player of Bates' caliber. Betting odds and expert analyses point out that with Bates in the fold, our defense could become one of the league's top units, similar to what we saw with the Dolphins after acquiring Howard. His presence would give us a real X factor, an EPA per clutch play of plus 0.33, which can convert into game-winning drives and momentum shifts. Now, let's analyze how Bates compares to some of our current safeties, like Jenkins. Bates averages about 2.3 tackles per game and 1.7 coverage snaps, which is quite solid for a safety. His ability to reduce big plays by 23% and improve third down stops from 38% to 53% would be game changers for Seattle. Plus, his skill set allows us to create mismatches against tight ends and slot receivers, which is crucial in today's pass-heavy NFL. And with Darnold under center, our turnover rate could see an 11-point bump, making our offense's job much easier. Of course, the Falcons' decision to trade Bates isn't just about the short term. They're clearly looking ahead, trying to balance their cap and roster needs, but losing a leader like Bates could come back to bite them. Meanwhile, for Seattle, this is a golden opportunity. Adding Bates could solidify our backfield, give us a boost in pass defense, and set the stage for a playoff run that could go all the way to the Super Bowl. Our chances would surge from current odds of around plus 1,000 against the Packers to much more favorable numbers, especially if we pair Bates with Diggs and Darnold's improving play. Looking ahead, this potential trade is more than just a move. It's a statement that the Seahawks are serious about contending, about building a defense that can compete with the best, and about giving our fans something to truly be excited about. Imagine a Seahawks secondary that's not only opportunistic, but also relentless, constantly hunting for turnovers and putting pressure on opposing quarterbacks. That's the kind of identity we want, one that mirrors our fierce, never-back-down attitude that's been a hallmark of Seahawks football for years. And just to throw in a little more perspective, if Bates joins us, he's likely to be a pivotal figure in our quest for a Super Bowl trophy. His instincts, leadership, and playmaking ability could elevate our entire team. The Seahawks have always been about resilience, grit, and making the most of opportunities, and Bates fits right into that mold. Plus, with the division so competitive, especially with teams like the 49ers and Rams, having a safety who can make game-changing plays might just tip the scales in our favor. It's about winning those close games, forcing turnovers, and making sure we're not just participating but dominating in the postseason. Now, I know fans might be wondering about the risks, trading a future pick, integrating a new player into the system, and ensuring he fits alongside our existing secondary. But let's be honest, when you have a chance to land a player like Bates, someone with his instincts and proven track record, you have to consider it. This isn't just a splash move. It's a strategic play to strengthen our defense for the long haul, to bring in someone who's been tested in the heat of the NFL and comes out on top. So as we look at the bigger picture, this potential trade aligns perfectly with the Seahawks' ongoing quest to build a championship-caliber team. It's about maximizing our talent, closing the gaps on defense, and creating a team that can challenge for the Lombardi Trophy once again. The NFC West is fierce, but with Bates on board, Seattle could be the team that surprises everyone and emerges as the division's top dog, setting us up for a deep playoff run that could culminate in another glorious Super Bowl appearance. And now, Seattle Seahawks fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Seahawks. Do you think Bates is the missing piece? Are you excited about the possibility of this trade? Or do you have concerns? Whatever you think, let's keep the conversation going. I'll be back soon with more updates, rumors, and analysis, so stay tuned for the latest Seattle Seahawks news. We're all in this together, and I can't wait to see how this story unfolds, because one thing's for sure. The Seahawks are always aiming higher, and with this kind of move, it looks like we're on the verge of something special. Go Hawks!